Hey, what's up everybody? It's your old pal Jgun taking a look today at ship armor in the upcoming Alpha 4.5. I pulled a bunch of ships and took them out in various combat scenarios to see how they perform after the shields go down. I don't care about numbers on paper, and stats are always subject to change, so this look focuses very much on the feel of armor as you sit in the cockpit flying your ship. I've put timestamps in the description below, so feel free to skip ahead to the ship that you want to know about most. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. But before the pew-pew, a quick look at the other major features coming with Alpha 4.5. We've got better Vulcan support, physicalized helmets, a very rough attempt at a filter in the ASOP terminal, and the ship preview is back in Mobiglass, so we can actually see what our paints look like. Also, in Alpha 4.5, SCM mode feels a little bit better. I think they tuned it. It feels a little bit faster, and you've got a little bit more boost to spend when boosting. Also of note is the radar now features tiny little ship models. But enough with the preamble, let's get into it. Let's see how these ships actually fare once their shields go down. I actually ended up testing 16, a few of which are pictured up above. So let's get started. Let's start with the Origin 325A, the fighter of the 300 series. It's classified as an interceptor for now, according to SIG in the ASOP terminal. This ship, it sucks to fight in. For some reason, the lag pip feels especially laggy and behind the ship. I feel like I have to drag my cursor twice as far across the map than any other ship with this one. What else? The view sucks. The bottom half of your screen is completely obscured, so it's really actually difficult to dogfight NC with. In addition to that, the default armament is probably terrible. All of these tests were done with default loadouts, default components, default armaments. I simply spawned the ship, took it out, and see how long it took me to die. Next up is the Buccaneer. And again, some of these will be sped up too, because I don't want to make you sit here for 20 minutes while I dogfight. So it took 2 minutes and 5 seconds to kill this Origin 100 series ship. Of course, I've sped this up 4 times. The Buccaneer feels amazing. It's fast, it's nimble, it feels like it's got 100 guns on it. It tracks accurately, and you just always feel like you're on point. It turns and handles very well. And moving between coupled and decoupled just feels really nice with this ship. So after being in the Buck for 20 minutes or so, I probably should be flying it more often. Mad respect to all the Buccaneer pilots out there. They probably discovered this gem and realized its power long before the rest of us. Now, we're on to a profession ship, a utility ship. And I've noticed that when it comes to these, they're extra durable. So size 1 fighter against a size 1 fighter, it's about a 2-minute fight. But when it comes to full deathing a Hull A, or a Prospector, or a Vulture, full deathing these profession ships just takes for frickin' ever. And I think I actually even ran out of ballistics. So this is sped up 4 times, but it actually took about 3 minutes to do a profession ship. Next up, we have the Venerable Gladius. Okay, this proved to me that the size 1 military fighters that SIG focuses so much on, the Anvil Arrow and the Aegis Gladius, are so incredibly dialed in that it's pretty much a stalemate. And that's kind of sad because this is PvE, right? If I were any good at all, I should be slaughtering NPC pilots. But with server meshing and servers ticking at their full 30 frames per second, the pilot AI in an Arrow is actually pretty damn hard to hit. So I probably only landed about 25% of my shots, and it took a long time. But size 1 to size 1, very competitive. Up next, we have the Sabre. This is kind of classified as a mid-ship. I came in, and this Anvil Valkyrie was already sitting here, and its shields were down. So this was a great test for damage output. And actually, you're going to see that a lot with like the first 8 of the 16 ships I review. It's not so much about how quickly they die, it's about how quickly they can kill other things. And we see here that a Sabre with, I believe it's 4 size 3 repeaters, can't kill a Valkyrie. Whatever I did, I just could not kill that Valkyrie. And then I stupidly turned myself towards the most OP ship in the game right now, the Gladiator. The Gladiator is so supremely overbuffed right now. This and the 400i, they're pretty much impossible to kill. I'll have a fight later, I think, in Asgard maybe, where I basically shoot at a Gladiator for like an hour and it doesn't take any damage. So I don't know what's going on with Gladiator, but this is the second ship I tried to destroy in my Sabre, and as you can see, not going well for me. But what you are seeing right here, if you watch in real time, is that in 4.4 and before, once your shields go down, you're done. That's it. Once your shields are down, you get 1 or 2 hits and you're dead. With 4.5, what we're seeing is that with shields down, you now can still have multiple minutes of combat. Or not. What we're seeing now is the other new thing with 4.5 is your ship can be, not red, but some random bullet, some random shot strikes a vital component, and you're dead in the water. So more often than getting soft death or hard death, you just get knocked out of the fight because your power plant gets hit. Up next, we have the Hornet Mark II-A. By the way, they added a bunch of new NPC lines with 4.5, and some D-pitching and up-pitching and down-pitching and stuff like that, so there's a little bit more variety. So this is the Mark II F7A we all got from the Overdrive Initiative about 2 years ago, 18 months ago. And it does well. Here I am against a Sabre, Raven, and I think it feels pretty good. The default loadout of the M7A kind of sucks. You get split pips because of the speeds and velocities of the projectiles. So yeah, a lot of your shits do miss, especially since you're mixing ballistics and repeaters. But we're now into the medium fighters. I would solidly classify this a medium fighter.
Could definitely use some support about now.
And up next, it's Hornet versus Hornet. And this one actually goes quicker. I was surprised how long that Sabre Raven took to kill. But luckily, this Hornet, which should have been a more even match, doesn't take as long to kill. Oh, and I skipped. And what is this? Oh, no, I didn't skip. Sorry.
What am I paying you for? Protect me!
Sorry, a glitch in the Matrix. Since most of these fights involved 3 or 4 people attacking me, I sometimes did have to turn and attack somebody else. So I had to edit these to be more, to have better continuity. So if I was on the Hornet and then looked away from it for 10 seconds to shoot something else, I spliced the editing so there was better continuity. So you just saw the Hornet fight. Like just here, we're seeing just the cutter fight. And cutters are tanky, but that's not new. Cutters have always been really tanky. And as we can see, its shields are down, but it doesn't pop like it used to. We don't get the soft death as quickly. We don't get the hard death as quickly. So that's the main difference. And you can stop watching right now. Honestly, I mean, you're going to see this in the rest of the tests. But basically, once the shields go down, the ship still lives for quite a bit longer, unless you roll a natural 20 and somehow strike that vital component. There are a few battles where my ship was at full health, but some bullet or something struck my power plant, and it was kind of an instant power down. Then you're just dead in the water. Which segues into engineering, and I don't know how to do engineering. But when I learn, I'll make a video on that too. So, I like full death, mainly because the targeting computer doesn't know to reject soft death ships. So, I like to full death things. Up next, the Wolf L21, which is our ballistic wolf. Up against a Pisces. Ballistics feel really good in 4.5. I think with armor, ballistics do more damage. I think they get through the armor better. So I did notice in testing these 16 ships that when I was using ballistics, it was typically quicker to kill things. If I hit. Which I don't hit a lot. And for the record, my favorite ship in the entire game is the Pisces. The C8X is the ship I fly in the game. It's my daily driver. It's what I do all my bunkers with. So, these tests make me actually feel pretty good about it. It's pretty safe in there. Oh, and then we go up against Cutter. And this is probably going to take an hour. Feel free to use the timestamps below, though, to skip ahead to what you want to see. Unfortunately, I talk through most of the entire video, so you might have to mute it. I swear these little cutters are made out of Grandma's Christmas fruitcake. It is impossible to get through them. Look at that. Would have tested the L-22, but it's not in the PTU. Up next, we have the Guardian MX. Oh my god. So, now we are into the heavy fighters, and this reminds me, heavy fighters do not feel good in 4.5. The lights against the lights feel great, the mediums against the mediums feel great. The heavies feel great against nothing and terrible against everything. I worked for 6.5 minutes and did not put a dent in this Gladiator. It's me against this Gladiator for almost 7 minutes, and I don't even make a dent in it at all. Like, I think like one little tiny piece of its armor turned slightly red. So this was just a frustrating fight. And I've been using the Guardian MX a lot lately. I've been using it for all the Vandal Tech Smuggler missions. So I can wipe out 4 Vandal very quickly with this ship. But again, these stupid Gladiators, they're just kind of broken right now. I think that's probably all that's wrong. So why did you include this J-gun? I don't know, but you should know. Basically, in 4.5, if you see a Gladiator, run. Even if you're an Idris, just run. And I try to fire some missiles, and they won't fire. I go back to guns. At this point, I'm missing one of my 4 guns, so now I'm definitely not going to do any damage. And then somebody shoots the magic stop button, and my entire ship powers down. Up next in Heavy Fighters, we have the Vanguard Warden. My favorite of the Vanguards. I'm going up against a Freelancer here, and I did a little bit better than against the Gladiator. I was able to turn the Freelancer mostly red. But the Vanguard platform isn't fun to fight in. The configuration of the weapons, the bespoke hardpoint with the quad cannons, and then a giant size 5, elephant trunk of your choosing hanging off the front, gives you pip conversions issues. Additionally, though, if you use the all group and fire all weapons group at the same time, they just end up getting really out of sync and wonky. So it's a really unpleasant ship to fly in. Let me know what your thoughts are if any of you have found a good weapon loadout for the Vanguard chassis that doesn't feel terrible to dogfight with. But even still, we do better in the Vanguard than we did in the Guardian MX. And as you'll see by the end of this video, I actually get the Freelancer almost dead. But then there's multiple people attacking me. Somebody rolls a natural 20 and does something to my ship to make it spontaneously explode. Up next in the I don't know what the hell I am category, we have Gray's Market Shiv. It's kind of a small cargo, quasi-heavy fighter type of craft, light freight and stuff like that. And people have been saying, people in Evocati have been saying, oh, it's doing so well in 4.5. Its damage output is amazing. And maybe they're right. Here I am against an MSR, and I melt its front shield almost instantly. But this fight doesn't end well for me, and you're about to see that in about a minute. Again, an enemy because I did the same mission for all these ships in the first half. The first 9 ships are all the same mission, and then like the last 5 ships are a different mission. But this mission that all these small, medium, and heavy fighters are on, you go in and there's like 6 craft attacking you, with 1 like boss craft. Oh, but there it went. There it went. Like, I've kind of rendered him neutralized. I've neutralized him. I must have hit a component, but he's dead in the water. But somebody hit me, and I'm dead in the water. And, like, I don't know what the hell happened. Like, now I got to scroll through this list and figure out which sacred component just instantly took a bullet and died. So, I'm now dead in the water in the Shiv. And so, while the Shiv puts out a lot of damage, it apparently is very fragile. And I look at this console, and it says, oh, you've got 3 seconds to live. Have fun, J-Gun. And so that's the Shiv. Yay. Up next, the Anvil Valkyrie Mark II. I mean Asgard. And let's go ahead and look at this fight. Oh, it looks like I was actually able to kill something in a ship. 2 minutes and 30 fights, time to kill. Did I just say 2 minutes and 30 fights? I'm sorry, folks. This is a long video. I've been doing voiceover for 3 days now. 2 minutes and 30 seconds, time to kill. Sped up 4 times, so you don't have to suffer through all of it. And it looks like I'm going up against a Reliant Tana, which has the tiniest, thinnest outline to try and hit of probably any ship in the game. So we finally finish up the Tana, and we turn towards his friend, the Hawk. The Hawk is 3 minute and 40-second time to kill. And you can watch me in high speed. Miss 75% of my shots. But at least the Hawk has a larger silhouette. It's a little bit thicker in the midsection. Unfortunately, for the sections I speed up, there's no audio because, well, you wouldn't want to hear it. It's a little bit annoying. But look at that. Like, that's all of those salvos, like, all of the shots landed. Boom. And then we turn towards a freelancer. So, what I will say is the Asgard feels good. I'm not disappointed with it. The Shiv felt powerful but too fragile. The Guardian MX, for some reason, well, I think I just picked a bad opponent, but it couldn't do crap to that Gladiator. The Vanguards, they're just not fun to fly with the way the weapon system is configured. And so what we see with armor and ship components and with engineering is that it's fairly common for, we used to call it soft death. And I guess we can still use that term. It's very likely that ships just go soft death. And after that, you don't really need to continue shooting at them, but you can if you want to. They can sometimes repair. I've had ships go soft death, and they just float off into the distance, and then they repair and come back. And while I don't show it in this video, I've also done that. I've done repairs in my ship with engineering gameplay and then come back online. And look at that. The Asgard easily takes down an MSR. And then after killing the MSR, my ship just dies, which happens now. Yeah, you get to do this. You get to be a fireman, and then you look at a console and it says you're exploding. So the console, I think, said we had 11 seconds to live. Up next, we have the Paladin. which could kill nothing. Supremely disappointed with the Paladin up in that top turret, which I believe is size 5. So that's 4 size 5 weapons. 4 size 5 repeaters. They couldn't kill anything. We're talking eclipses, sabers, ships that are paper thin. Couldn't kill them. So I don't know what's going on there, but I brought the Paladin in and had a group of like 2 sabers and 2 eclipses and just could not kill him. So I don't know what that's about. These are very powerful turrets. This is not the side turret. This is the top turret. The main thing that makes the Paladin amazing. And it could not kill size 1 fighters at all. So I, for now, am disappointed in the Paladin, but I feel like this has to be a bug of some sort. So hopefully they fix it. Up next, we have the Constellation Andromeda with its 4 size 5 hardpoints and repeaters. And I'm going up against 2 prospectors and 2 Mustangs. And what the hell is going on with my screen? I wonder if it really looked like that in game. And things are going well. Like, I'm not particularly worried about anything. Because with armor, you know, even after your shields go down, you still can live for a long time. And it's just a couple of Mustangs and a couple of prospectors. And then boom. I don't know what happens, but welcome to engineering gameplay. From out of nowhere, I go from full shields and full health to, oh my god, the ship is completely on fire and shut down. So the ship is unresponsive and it's on fire. And I'm like, in all the new ships, there's like a fire extinguisher in every room. I can't find one. So again, welcome to engineering gameplay where, you know, your ships are now super tanky and never die, except, oh wait, if your opponent rolls a critical roll, you're just instantly neutralized. Now watch this. I'm like, oh shit, I better get in my snub. And this is really epic. That's so cool. I basically tell my Connie that I want to undock. At the same time, the enemies completely disintegrate my ship. So my ship ejects me out of the bottom at high speed. And then I just resume the fight in my Merlin. And continue to whoop ass from my Merlin at this point. But that's my experience with the Connie. Thank God it has a snub, because you have exactly just enough seconds to get into it. Now, the little tiny Gatling on the Merlin isn't much of a fight, I guess, for these guys, but I think I killed one of them. But that's it for the Connie. How did it perform? I mean, it's super tanky, but it is possible to somehow completely remove its shields and all of its... I wonder if I got too close to the satellite, and maybe a satellite, because the satellite stations have those missile turrets. Maybe that happened. I don't know. You know, one of you should watch this. One of you should, like, rewind and tell me what happened, because I don't know what happened. Anyways, moving on to the next ship. Going up the ladder, we next have the RSI Perseus. And here we are testing its damage output on a 400i. And we can't even hit it. These massive cannons on the Perseus are a combination of just really hard to use, but also buggy sometimes. And the Perseus has really weak shielding. Its shields actually go down really quickly, surprisingly. So thank God for ship armor, huh? And I think I did enough damage to this 400i. You can see it is now just listing lazily. And it kind of just slowly fades off into the distance. And that's it for Mr. 400i. So I take this out into an arena where there will be more enemies. And you can see that just against 4 or 5 small fighters, my shields are getting shredded. Thank God it's maneuverable. Like, if the Perseus weren't maneuverable, it would be kind of a dead-on-arrival ship. And yes, I know I'm soloing it, but that's not really a problem for this specific video, because I just want to know how fast these things die. Well then, J-Gun, why are you evading? I don't know. It's just reflexes. Even when I'm trying to make a video about dying, it's hard to die because I choose to run and fight. Oh my god. Even though the PDCs shot down that missile, it like took down an entire shield face. I kind of messed up with this ship. Like, I didn't actually do a proper armor review of it because I didn't want to die, so I just kept fighting. Anyways, this is boring. Let's skip to the end. So I sped this up 12 times, so it's going very fast. But you can see in the bottom left that there are plenty of moments where my shield face is completely down and my hull is taking direct hits. So my hull took a lot of direct hits throughout this entire, 10-minute fight. And at the end, I froze the frame here to see that nothing stayed red. So the hull of the Perseus fared very well against lots of incoming damage, even when the shields were down. Up next, another subcapital military ship, the Aegis Hammerhead. The Hammerhead did not fare well from a survivability standpoint. I went into an asteroid base and had about 4 or 5 light fighters around me, and from the moment my shields went down till the moment I died was just 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So I've gone ahead and sped this up, so it's just about 1 minute and 15. But go ahead and watch it, and you can see my ship is already dead in the water. So I think I run back to try and get in a turret, but everything just goes poorly. That's right, there's a Prowler. So it's a couple of light fighters and a Prowler. The Prowler seems to do pretty good damage. So definitely when you go into the fray and you see a couple of light fighters, but then you see a Prowler, prioritize killing that Prowler. I've issued a repair command here, but it's going to be about, looks like a few seconds on the cooler. But then there's that label on that. Oh, here we go. Explosion imminent. Reactor critical. This is like the what's the point message. It's like you're going to die. What's the point? Yep, and there we go. Up next, we have the RSI Polaris. And I did not want to waste any time, so I jumped into an asteroid-based mission and just turned off my shields. And 2 minutes and 20 seconds is arbitrary, but it's when I got bored and stopped filming. So here's 2 minutes and 20 seconds of me taking damage, and as you can see, with my shields down, lots of splashing and flashing, but no permanent damage ever done to the hull. And I could have let this go. I don't know if eventually they would start doing damage to the hull, I'm not sure. But I stopped it after about 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And then I was bored of nobody being able to damage my ship, so I scuttled it. And in scuttling it, I learned that in 4.5, when you self-destruct a ship, you now get a self-destruct timer. So let's watch that. Boom. And last but definitely not least, we have the largest player-owned ship in the game right now, the Aegis Idris-M. I spent all day in PTU grinding to unlock Gilly's 8th quest, the Gauntlet Combat 8, and it sucked because in live, like all 8 were always available, but for some reason in PTU, you had to do 1 to unlock 2, 2 to unlock 3, blah, blah, blah. And it only offered the next one like every 30 minutes. So you're welcome for the personal sacrifices I've made to bring this content to you. So I come out here to do Combat Gauntlet 8 and immediately turn off my shields. I'm an unshielded Idris-M. And it's a Polaris. The Polaris is attacking me with everything it's got. And then it's, except it's missiles. It's not launching its torpedoes. I don't know why. And then it's 2 Corsairs and like 4 Gladii. Gladiuses is Gladii. So with the Polaris, 2 Corsair and 4 Gladii, they could not damage me permanently. So I don't know at what point they start doing damage. But that's it. Just a few railgun shots and the Polaris is dead. And I think I sped this up 800 times. So I'm done. The Idris did that entire... and by the way, I never repaired the Idris. It did Combat Gauntlet 1 through 8 all tonight and never once had to be repaired. So this is actually the look from an engineering perspective. The map is pretty cool. It shows you like what's red, what's green, what's yellow. And I noticed that like my grav generator is turning a little bit yellow. But I go down there and there's no way to like pull it out or do anything to it. So I don't know in a cap ship like this if any of these parts are serviceable. I also didn't notice any engineering terminals. So that's it for the Idris ranking. It did the best, obviously. It does a ton of damage out. It didn't seem to take any damage, even with the shields off. I mean, I'm sure it did, but the amount was so low, nothing could really become a problem. The front doors were left open, and some of the components were marked as yellow, but without an engineering terminal, nothing that I could really get a good look at. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this rather subjective look at 16 random ships and how they do in combat at the hands of the average Joe. Again, this is the middle of the PTU cycle. In fact, I think it just went wave 3 right now as I'm recording this voiceover. So it'll probably be live by Saturday at this rate. So I don't know how much more tweaking they're going to do, but this is where we are right now with combat and armor. So I hope you enjoyed this early look. I'm sorry it went long, but hopefully the timestamps can be your guide here. And if you liked what you saw, feel free to subscribe, and I will see you in the verse.